You know,
What's going on, man?
I'm a little
Frank Starfire.
nice to meet you.
And, I'm a simple guy, and I live my life by really simple means, you know what I mean? And, I live by simple mottos and credos and phrases and everything, because it works for me, you know what I mean? Lately, I've adopted a new...
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Frank Starfire, and this here is the Just to Be Frank podcast. I want to thank you ever so much for joining me this evening. Tonight, I have a very special guest coming in to the meeting with me here into the podcast. She's one of my dearest friends. This is the only young lady I know that could probably sell you your own liver. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, for real. But at the same time, she's probably one of the most positive individuals I've ever met in my life. And when I bring her in, you're going to see exactly why. She goes by Miss Manifest. You know what I'm saying? She has her own business. It's called Achieving Wealth Effortlessly. And I don't know what else to tell you beyond that. She's going to share everything she can with you right here on the Just to Be Frank podcast. So without further ado, I bring to you Miss Manifest, Lori Crosby. Waiting for your audio, waiting for the video. Uh-oh. That did not work out how I thought it would. I don't know exactly what happened there. She was here a second. We're having some technical difficulties. We'll be right back. All right. All right, after our technical difficulties, you know what I'm saying? Miss Manifest, Lori Crosby, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you ever so much for joining me, my lady. I appreciate you.
Yes, I'm so grateful to be here. I'm excited to actually be on your interview finally.
Listen, man, it was a long time coming. You know what I'm saying? You know, you were one of the original people I initially thought of as a guest when I first started doing this. Like, when I first thought to myself, I wanted to have guests in and talk to them and da-da-da. You, Tamika, there was a few people who immediately came to mind.
Right.
You, Tamika, Indy. Definitely got to get Indy up in here because her mind works in an amazing way.
She's immaculate. You know, she's the one that told me to quit my job.
Did she?
Yes, and she manifested a lot of stuff for me for my business. So
I believe it. Well, cheers. You know what I'm saying? I'm having scotch because this is a special occasion. I'm having. Huh?
That's gasoline right there.
Nah, this ain't gas, girl. This is light fuel. This is light fuel. And now that I know my limits, I know how to sip. No more passing out for me.
I should have passed out. We want you to be live so I can hear this interview. I'm waiting to see these questions.
Well, yeah, the truth is, let me tell you, Lori, I don't, most other podcasts, they have a set of questions and all that.
Right.
This is just like as if I was chilling there with you at one of your parties and we just kicking it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't got to be all straight laced now. You can be yourself here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want you to be you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't got no set question list. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about everything that you do, whatever you want to talk about. If it flows into aliens, I don't give a fuck. We can talk about aliens. You know what I'm saying?
So funny. My aliens this week. It's so weird.
Yo, listen, you see, you manifesting the motherfuckers right now. Watch, they're going to come down. They're going to come find you.
And I'm like, what's going to happen in the next couple of years? Because I heard they some extra ordinary type of beings.
Listen, the truth is that there really are aliens.
They're
definitely smarter than us, and they're definitely more capable than we are as human beings of doing shit ill. You know what I'm saying? They're way more capable than we are. These frail human bodies. You know what I'm saying? Right. Frail human bodies.
And we
But
have spirits. Sheesh.
yeah, man. But like I said in the intro, I've known you long enough to where I remember you could sell fucking somebody their own liver if they needed it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Even if they didn't need it, you can still sell it to them. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll sell you their liver for you to give it back to them. Like honestly, and I don't know how you do it. You know what I
I,
mean? I, what is the secret? You know what I'm saying? Is that Harlem mentality? Is it just hustle? What is it?
you know what it is like I have a burning desire to be successful in everything that I do. I'm a Capricorn, so they usually call me the GOAT. I don't allow myself to call myself the GOAT because I feel like it sounds better when other people say that. And I'd be excited about this because it gives me like adrenaline. But yes, for being from Harlem, watching all the things that being sold, I never did anything like with the drugs or nothing like that. But when I did have the mentality to offer services or whatever it is, I didn't care what I was selling. It started from when I was in Job Corps, and I didn't finish high school. I went to Job Corps, and I actually made it to the last grade of high school, but my credit wasn't adding up correctly. And I was like, I'm out of here. And my mother was like, you know what? Go to Job Corps. If you don't know what Job Corps is, it's like an alternative schooling.
I know Job Corps.
It's jail to me.
Pretty much. It is.
And that's where I really had to stand on my own too, because I didn't have my mother anymore. I was away in Oneonta, somewhere near Albany, where they were, I'm from Harlem. I never seen no deer, and they would come into the windows and all types of animals, bugs in my room, a lot of nasty attitudes. And I had to be real like hardcore because they were trying to like, press you out there and see like who you are.
Well, you're a pretty light-skinned girl, so you knew that was going to come.
And I was never the girly type back then. I had Jordans stacked to the ceiling. I had, when I went there, I couldn't figure out what trade I wanted to take. And they was like, listen, you have to pick a trade or we're gonna kick you out. I'm like, oh God. And I ended up in business, a business trade.
Okay.
I sat there and it was like, you gotta wear shoes. I'm like, shoes? I got Jordans. Like, I ain't know nothing about business etiquette. I didn't know about how you should dress for a job. All I knew was when from high school, I was real hood, like out extremely hood. And when I went out there and they told me to change my whole demeanor, I wasn't really open-minded to it, but it was my last choice and I wasn't gonna let my mother down. So I went to Walmart, got some Mary Janes, put them things on, and that was it. And I put away the Jordans. I wore the Jordans after trade school. I was going for my GED and my trade in business technology. I failed in every other trade. They had me painting. They stuck me in the room, was like, paint this. And I failed at that. They tried to put me in cement mason, failed at that. Then I think they wanted me to do something in cooking. I failed at that. And they was just like, listen, that's when the business technology, this is the last call. So I had no choice, but it was a reason why. Because now to this day, I learned everything that I needed to learn regarding computers. I got my certifications in Microsoft Word, Excel, and Access and PowerPoint for free. And I did get my GED. It was a rough time. I think I was there for about 2 years. And they paid me a little stipend, but at that time, it wasn't enough. Right. Before I graduated, I had to figure out how to make money. So I started selling oodles and noodles, candy bars, anything I could sell at nighttime. When they was hungry, I was selling it. And and I started to make people's food. I had a crock pot. I illegally snuck one in and I started heating up people's food at night because they used to lock the microwave. So they used to pay me like $5 to heat up their food. And all of a sudden I was making all of this money.
That's that Harlem shit. Yeah, I'm telling you.
You're right. Yeah, that's it. And when I left that place, I felt good. I had money in my pocket from the stipend, what I saved up from selling candy, food, and everything. And it taught me a lot. It taught me how to do my dream board.
Right. Which I know you're very big in. You do those. You know what's funny? I remember the first time and I met you in what, 07, 08 maybe?
Yeah.
And I remember you saying something about a vision board then, and I'm like, the fuck this girl know about a goddamn vision board? What the fuck? What this Harlem girl know about that vision board? My ignorant ass, I didn't know shit. Now, I want to ask you a weird, this is going to be a weird question. And, but, like I said, the only rules here are be yourself, be honest, have fun. Don't take anything personally. Huh?
Let's
Say
let's be.
again?
I said let's
Yeah.
be.
Just be frank. Did you know at that time where you were in Job Corps that you were gay?
Yeah, I actually did. I've been gay since kindergarten.
You-
I have. I knew I wanted females back then.
okay.
I had a girlfriend. Probably like in the fourth grade to like as I continued. She sat next to me. We knew we was girlfriends, but we didn't say nothing about it. And then when I was younger in the kindergarten, I was always looking at females. I don't know where it started directly. Like I didn't have no traumatizing story where I was like, something happened.
I
Like,
have often wondered that,
no, no,
because a lot of the times when I meet people who are of the homosexual persuasion, there is some tragedy involved in getting there. And I don't, and I'm one of those people, I don't know if you're born that way, if you make the choice. I don't know. You know what I
right.
mean? Like, it's not a choice I've ever had to make. So I couldn't say. But I do often wonder that. Like,
Yeah.
when did that start to manifest? And you said kindergarten.
Yeah, like that was what I never, nobody around my family was gay or nothing. It wasn't like I seen it or anything. That was just something that, oh, I like her. And then when I got to Job Corps, it got really strong. It got like, oh, okay, I really like females. There was a lot of paranormal activity on the Job Corps base.
What do you mean?
Oh, it was getting crazy. It was a lot of paranormal activity. Like
Well,
it was on a
paranormal means something else now. You got to explain that. You're going to have to tell me. Like,
yeah,
what? Did you get visited by spirits?
yeah. It was a lot
Okay.
of spirits on the campus. We was on a burial ground.
Well, Anianta itself is a Native American stronghold. Like, it was a Native American place to live. So I'd imagine that there are a lot of unexplainable phenomena in that area. Yeah, I
Yeah.
believe that.
And I grew up knowing that there's other entities out there. I really didn't put too much mind into it, but my mom always, always, always told me about stories of different things. And, so when I did get out there and I found out that I was on a burial ground, I was like, oh, I got to get out of here. Like immediately. So I was like, I got to finish this fast. I'm not letting my mother down, but I got to get out of here because I just felt like the darkness. And, I had one of my close friends out there. I didn't know back then that people had gifts. She was able to see things, feel things, and she would be in the shower screaming. And she's like, oh my God, they turn off the lights. And the lights would be off when I go over there. And she'll be in the shower. So I used to be like, oh my God, I feel so bad for her. So I used to sleep with her, stay with her because we had like different dorms and dorm rooms. There was 2 floors. And on the bottom, there was the crematory that it led to where we hang out, which is the recreation center. So the crematory was there. And I knew about this because when I was in my business class, we was on a computer. So a lot of times I was researching what was going on and where I was based at.
Why did they have a crematorium?
Because they used to cremate people there.
Okay. Job Corps is multifaceted like a motherfucker. I never would have
Right.
thought that, but all right.
Yeah. And it got deep. I really don't share this story. And then you get in a really good interview because one of those is like I don't see myself getting on a bus to even go near that place.
I believe you.
And the reason why I'm saying this to say this, but going back to being gay, is that when I was there at one point in time, I don't know what my friend was going through, but we had to like bring her back from like the woods, like crazy stuff like it was in the movies. And I get back to the dorm and I feel this hot air running towards me. My instinct was like, run.
Yeah.
I ain't nothing, but I felt it. I started running down the hallway. They're like, what's going on? I'm like, something's chasing me. Mm-hmm. So I ran to the room. The young lady was there that I stayed in the dorm room with. And she happened to be gay. And I had my first real experience at that moment. For whatever reason, of me sleeping with the girl at that time, we actually got intimate. And it was my first experience. So I was like, whoa, I didn't know if it was because I was scared and whatever. But she took advantage because like, hello, I'm like scared. Like, what are you doing? Like, but I guess that was like a comfort moment. I was really scared because I've never got chased by anything, but I heard the sound and I felt the heat and I felt the wind, which pushed me to run to that room. That was the only room I could run to. I don't know why I ran to that room, but everything happened for a reason. Okay. But after that, I was like, oh yeah, I'm done with this place. I got to go. Like it's like beyond. And I think I took a picture one time and I saw something in the back of the picture. And I was like, oh, this is too much. Like, what's going on?
Do you still have that picture?
No, I don't. My mom made me get rid of that because she said it's bad negative energy. It was an accidental picture. I was just like taking a picture of somebody, and there was something behind it. And
Where's your mom from?
She's from she's from New York, but her family's from Puerto Rico.
She's Puerto Rican. Okay, so they got the Santeria thing with that thought
No,
process. No, I know she does. I'm not saying she does, but what I mean is like from that area in the world, you get Santeria. Like in Haiti, you'll get voodoo. But you know what I'm saying? But it's all the same shit. It's all African spiritualism. It all comes
me about that. Like my mom told me like because my mom brought me up on like Seven Heaven, positive things, like
Seventh Heaven. That was my show.
I about positive heavenly stuff. God, these real angels. She never told me about the evil stuff. So
do you think she did a disservice to you with that?
No, it was amazing because I was positive.
No, but what I mean is, all right, so I genuinely don't trust people who don't know struggle. You understand what I mean? Mm-hmm. Your mom didn't tell you about the negative of the word. She gave you all the positive. Right. When did you start learning about the negative?
When things started to occur, like since she brought me on a platform of positive. So I came from the hood, of course. Like that's where the negative was. I saw things and I would go home and ask her, and she would tell me. She was always honest,
right?
And she always set me up to be able to identify when there was a negative something coming.
Okay,
either influence, maybe it was a boyfriend that's not going to be for me. Maybe it's thinking that I'm ready to have a baby and I'm not. Things like that. She set me up, to know what's going on. My mom was a cop, so she gave me cop stories.
Oh, so, wait, your mom was a cop?
Yeah.
NYPD.
Well, she was back then. I forget what you call it. They hold a baton. They arrest people. They find out what's going on.
Auxiliary.
Auxiliary.
Auxiliary. Okay, because I just want to call your mom a snitch. But no. But the truth is, that's a good thing, and especially for a woman, especially for a woman in New York City of Puerto Rican descent in that time. Like you got to think about it. I'm 38. You know what I'm saying? I can't ask you how old you are, but I'm 38.
I'm about to say 33, 34.
Well, shit, we haven't. Thank you, Stephen. We haven't had a birthday party for you since like the Zoom joint, so it's weird. I've lost track now.
You're gonna have another one. Anyways, go ahead.
Okay. Well, no, but that's an amazing thing, and because women don't always get a lot of opportunities, especially in the city. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. What made your mom? If you know, I guess what made your mom pursue wanting to be a cop?
And I feel like it's something from another life because she still wanted to go to the FBI, but had a lot of trauma in her relationships that didn't allow her to get to that level. Back then, there wasn't like relationship coaches. There wasn't, these things like, figure it on your own. And she used to get beat on and things like that. And, it was just very bad for her.
Did you witness that?
No, I didn't.
I wasn't witness it, like her getting, because I wonder, like you say, you weren't exposed to anything.
Not like that.
Like that, but I know I've seen that shit.
It's sad.
Yeah, man. Listen. Let's call a spade, man. We could talk frank here. I ain't always been as altruistic and good as a human as I am now. I used to be a real complete piece of shit.
Aww.
You know what I'm saying? I did, and I've told you this before, but just to call a spade. I've been a homophobe. I've been a sexist person. I've been somebody who belittled with, like, I have been all of those things at one time or another. And I think it's important to acknowledge that. And I think it's also important to acknowledge that you can learn and grow and move beyond that. You know what I'm saying? You were the first person of any gay type of I could say, yo, that's my friend.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't have that. I ain't gonna lie, most of the people that I knew up to that point that were gay, I didn't like them too much. Not because they were gay, but because they were shit humans. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were just shitty human beings. And that kind of formulated the entire thought process of what I thought it was. And then, of course, you'd learn otherwise. And I'm thankful for that. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Good.
Like I said before, you could, like, I've seen you, you know, you sold nutcrackers. You can throw a party to save nobody's life. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, I like, oh yeah, we going this, we're gonna do this, and this is the plan, and here's the set schedule. And even if the schedule doesn't exactly adhere, you still
Right.
manage to get shit done. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're a planner.
Thank you.
Did that come from Job Corps, or have you always been that way?
You want to know who that came from?
Yeah,
Honestly, like I feel like Toya, you know Toya,
I do.
that's my babe. Like
I
she
love Toya.
pushed me out there. Like, can you collect the money? I'm like, collect money. Like that was like crazy for me. I'm like, collect money. You know, I was gonna come around like,
Fuck you, mean collect money?
she like collect the money. So she started planning and doing certain things, and I really wanted to help her achieve a lot of the parties that she wanted to do. And in turn, if I found out that I had a passion for it as well, and the collecting money helped me till this day because now I'm able to ask for the money that I'm worth for a product. I'm not nervous because I have to do it at ages, and we didn't make that much money because we had that was going on. I had to break the payment plans, overseeing that, you know, some people are late and I got to tell people 80 hours earlier than, you know,
right. And you did it. You did it. You always got the bread. And it's funny because that's a very analytical thing. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I go a lot to this day, even with the podcast, I don't like asking for donations.
Right.
I don't like asking for money. Like, I don't like asking people for money. I don't enjoy it because to me, money is a tool.
Right.
Like, money doesn't hold value for me. Money is something I can use to have cool shit and go cool places. But for the most part, I could also live in the woods and hunt my own food and grow my own food and be very fucking happy.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's funny you said about Anianta. Anianta is not a place I would think of that would have a bunch of paranormal activity. But the funny shit is, the book I'm writing, I kind of created a county that's in New York. I created a whole county, but it's, I guess technically it would be close to where Anianta is. So it's funny that that's a thing that we have there. And I ain't gonna lie, have you ever been to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania?
I feel like I have because Jay lives in Pennsylvania, and I think that I may have there.
She lives in Philly, right?
She lives in Philly, but she at one point in time we was like traveling far around Philly, and I think I've traveled with my cousin a little bit around there, but I wasn't familiar because I had just got my license and I was just driving, and I didn't know where.
Well, Gettysburg is where, you know, the greatest battle of the Civil War took place.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I went there as a kid, 6 years old, not 6 years old, sixth grade, I should say. And I didn't know what an empath was. I didn't know what energies were. I didn't know what any of that shit was.
Okay.
But I knew when I went there, I did not like how I felt. I didn't like it. I could hear gunfire. I could hear screams. I could smell blood. I did not enjoy that experience at all.
That's crazy.
And it's funny because now that I know what an empath is and all that shit, and I recognize and I know what energy is, I see how that kind of influenced a lot of what I do. Like, but I've also come to realize that in every aspect of life, in every lifetime, life cycle, every incarnation that my spirit has been in, I've always known a Lori.
Really?
Yeah. It has to be that way because people like you don't just come into somebody's life accidentally. You know what I'm saying? There's no accident involved in that. You know what I'm saying? I remember thinking I remember thinking I could fucking take you on a date and shit. I remember wanting to fucking take you to dinner. And then I looked at your bracelet like, wait a minute, are you gay? Oh shit, I ain't got no gay on whatsoever. But
that's not at all. Yes, that rainbow bracelet a lot of like stories. Like people wouldn't believe it. I had to wear the bracelet. And it didn't match nothing I wore.
No, not at all. But you also I know you rock the Jordans and all that, but I've always known you as like a businesswoman.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? In every aspect, in every way, shape, or form. Like you know, when we was at ages, you'd be on the floor moving around in your heels, all tall and shit. Like, oh my God, that's fucking Glamazon right there. Go on now. And then I met T. Now, how'd you meet Tanika?
Tanika, she actually, I manifested her.
Interesting.
I manifested her. I wrote out a detailed list on what I wanted in a female. And at the time I was dating somebody that was super low vibration, super ratchet. And I had met another young lady. She was a high vibration, but she didn't have what T had. And I happened to, I don't know if you remember Demaria.
Yeah, I remember Damali all day.
You remember? Yes. And
yeah, I still have a scarf she made me.
Right. So she was doing that. That was fantastic.
Yo, I love it.
Yeah. Did you remember Andrea?
Yeah.
Okay, so those two girls I was hanging out with, they called us the Kardashians.
Yes.
And it was like the Black Kardashians. And I was laughing because I'm like, I never had femme friends when I was younger. I didn't really have no friends. So it felt good to be like the Kardashians. Like, okay, that's a compliment, And I'm like, okay, cool. Long story short, they was like, girl, you need to talk to that girl that, she drive and she got a business. She just in the third, whatever. Because T happened to fall into my arms at a club. I was going on a blind date. And I got upset because the girl must have went to a fish fry prior and she smelled like a whole bunch of fresh fry. And I'm allergic to fish, for one. I'm allergic to fish. Two, I don't like the smell of fish. I could eat salmon now, but back then I didn't have no inkling on what fish smelled like. If it's fresh, I didn't. So she comes to the date. She talks to me. We're in the corners, a closed off space. She smells reeks of fish. I'm like, ugh, I'm out of here. This date is over, period. So I walk to leave and T's there. I already seen her before in the club. She was by the bar. I seen her getting really late. It was her birthday. And then when I was walking out, I told my friend, we leaving. And she was standing there with her friend when I was leaving. She was wobbling. All of a sudden she falls back. I catch her and I push up and I'm like, I told her friend next time, I was like, oh, she got really lit. I was like, okay, And I don't know why I did this, but I said, give me your phone. I'm gonna put my number, in your phone to give to her.
Right.
Why? I'm not even that I don't even think that I was that upfront. But the universe made me do that. It was just boom. Ever since then, I ended up being with her for years.
Yeah.
Building businesses.
I remember when I first met T, she came to Aegis to come get you for some. I think we was all working late one night, and she came to drop off some food for you. And I don't remember if you asked me to grab it from her at the door or whatever, but I just remember her being in the hallway there, and she just mad polite. And again, I know nothing of femmes and I knew nothing. I didn't know nothing. I swear to God, I thought she was a dude. I swear to God, she gave me the pound it was. You know what I'm saying? It was just natural. It was so natural. And you know what? But I love her mind. You know what I'm saying? When I talk about y'all to people, I always talk about you in tandem. Because I recognize that without her, there's no you, and without you, there's no her. Y'all two go together so fucking well.
Thank you so much.
You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna lie, I don't think I've ever seen y'all have an argument. I don't think I've ever seen you fight. I've never seen that. Y'all are one of the most loving couples I've ever seen.
Aww, thank
you.
And
that's a testament. And again, I imagine that's a testament to your mom giving you that positivity.
Yeah.
Because it allows you to manifest that power. You know what I'm saying? Yo, when later, Indy, you've been talking about manifesting stuff for years. You've been on it.
Right.
I remember going with you to the Legal Shield meeting. It wasn't for me, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But funnily enough, we're going to talk about Legal Shield in a second because one of my boys, my boy Sums, he does Legal Shield as well.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, he's in it. He's like, yo, Frank, you need to get on this, son. I'm like, you know what? I own a business. I do need a lawyer. So I need it. But I find that I'm meeting so many different people who do that business. You know what I'm saying? But this is what I do. I want to talk to people. I want to converse and have conversations and learn shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not a businessman. I don't want to sell anybody anything. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? The only commodity I have is me. This voice, this brain, and this heart. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all I got. You know? But and then you started the podcast, Achieving
Yeah.
Wealth Effortlessly.
Yeah.
And you did it through Anchor,
Yeah.
Spotify, like I did.
Yeah.
Uh, damn it, I gotta fucking finish this drink real quick because I'm gonna mention his name because of you and Joe Rogan. Every time I say Joe Rogan's name, I gotta take a shot. Anytime I give him props, I gotta take a shot. That's my rule. But you and Joe Rogan are the reason that I'm doing this.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And Charmaine.
Yes.
And fucking Charmaine. Because, matter of fact, I sent Charmaine's profile to a friend of mine. She's going through a divorce. It was really bad. And I got to let her know how much it actually helped this young lady. Because she's an ex of mine. And there's a deep history there. But I wanted to help her out. And I knew Charmaine's podcast would be exactly what she needed. And so I definitely shared that with her. Listen, man, when it comes to people I know and the things they do and all that, I'm always promoting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like if I know that if I really want a party planned, I'll call you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It might not be what you do, but you can do it.
Yes, I can.
You know what I'm saying? So those are certain things that I know that you can do. You know what I'm saying? Like I got a friend, she's a holistic healer. She's a licensed iridologist. You know what I'm saying? She just got her black belt. You know what I'm saying? I'm so proud of her. But since moving to Pennsylvania, I have discovered a very different level of energy and focus, and just you were a part of that.
That's so great.
You know what I'm saying? And the reason I say that is because I have watched you go from fucking just throwing parties every year and throwing money into fucking renting a mansion just to have fun for a night. You know what I'm saying? Just to have fun for a night. To now you're like, man, fuck that. We doing here. I'm investing in this business. I'm investing in this. What caused that paradigm shift?
My mother.
But everything. Mama. I love your moms, man. You make sure you send her my love, man.
Love my mother. My mother is everything to me. First of all, nobody knows much. I'm adopted. That's my grandmother. Like nobody would know that.
I did not.
Yeah. So I called.
Although I might have guessed because I figured she might be a little older to be having. You know what I'm saying? Like But hey. I never questioned it because all you ever said was that's my mom. And as far as I'm concerned, that's your mom.
It's my mom. And I don't usually bring this up, but she deserves to be shouted out because when I came out the womb of my biological egg donor, I don't call her my mom because I feel like, everybody has somebody that's in their life that's their mother, but they have somebody that's really their mother.
Yes, you know what.
And that's really my mom. Like my mom, and we look alike too. So I don't have no problem saying that's my mom because she's my grandmother. But when I came out of my biological egg donor, I was given to my grandmother, which is the one, and which was like amazing because it was like that was love at first sight for her. Like, and she took me. There's a lot of us. It's like a lot of sisters and brothers, and I think it's about like 7, 8. I don't know, but. They keep popping up because my biological egg donor had so many children that they went to a foster home and all these different things. And I was the oldest. I was the firstborn, so I was given to my grandma. And that started. And then when I did the paradigm shift, I realized that my mom was like, Nana, you shouldn't be drinking all that liquor. You shouldn't be partying that much. You got to do things with your life. That's how she talks to me in Spanish too, like in Spanish, English. And I'll be like, okay, ma. She's like, no, I'm serious because, when you drink, you're going to have like things leaching to you, dark stuff. You don't want that. You want light. And I was like, okay, and I didn't listen. And I remember partying and I remember just literally just like stopping and looking around. And I'm just like, maybe my mom is right. Like maybe I need to really just get some clarity. It was at a point where I was just partying so much and people were just like, oh, get a bottle, Lori, get a bottle. And I was spending $20 every day, $20. I must have spent I must have bought gallons and gallons of liquor for everybody to chip in, but they never chipped in.
Right.
So that $20 times 30 days is $600. Like, you know what I mean? In a month, which I could have invested that into either stocks or business. As I started to read books, I started to read The Secret. I started to read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. But when I joined Legal Shield, at that time, I don't know what happened. I bumped into a childhood friend that was my mother. She invited me to an event. I signed up for Legal Shield. I learned about personal development. I learned about dream boards. I learned about The Secret. I learned about Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I learned about all these books, and I'm like, wow, this is amazing, you know. And fast forward, you know, as I had a party life, I didn't have a lot of friends when I was little, so the parties filled in that gap. Parties filled in that gap of friends. And I had all these random people around me, and I'm like, these are my friends. And you know, my mom's like, you know, you only have a certain amount of friends.
Right.
And I didn't realize that was so true. And I had this inkling to go to Hawaii. And when I got that inkling, I got up and I left. I left everybody. I just went and flew out.
UNT?
Huh?
UNT?
No, I flew up myself.
Oh, it was just you?
It was just me.
Wow.
And there was another person there.
When was this? This was like what, 20?
The year before. The year before last, I believe.
2019.
2019. 2019, right. That's when I started my podcast. I had this epiphany to go out there. That's a high vibrational place, by the way. So somewhere along the lines, I know the universe was sending me over there. There was another person, my client, I have a cleaning business. So my cleaning client went to Hawaii. So I took that as a sign to go out there to clean a home so I could start my business in Hawaii. People could take me seriously in New York. So that was my goal. One of my friends was like, oh, I'm going to Hawaii because I'm going to work for the post office. I said, oh, well, I'm going to fly out too. They're like, yeah. So they went about their business and I flew out at the same time. I took that as a sign. I cleaned the house out there. I ended up getting the whole neighborhood to do within the period of time that I stayed out there. And I was like, what? Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I put it on airplane mode. That's weird. But
do not disturb, motherfucker.
Right. I'm busy. Yeah, so I ended up doing that, and I was like, you know what? I think I might want to stay out here. I was gonna leave everybody, T, everybody, my mom, everybody. I was gonna stay in Hawaii. Like, I don't know. It was just like this the perfect place. I happy in my life. Long story short, I go out there, I clean the home. I met a group of trans men. That's female turning into men. Never been around them. They're so cool. One was like, you want a room? One was like, you want my car? Because my homeboy's going to the army. You can have his car. I'm like, well, I'm supposed to live out here, universe? To this day, I feel like I was supposed to live out there. Ended up coming back. You know, I still have a purpose. I know I want to go back, though. That's my place. I know that's
where yeah. It's on the list. It's on my list.
It's beautiful. So I ended up doing that. I bumped into a young lady. This is where everything happens. I bumped into a young lady and she's like, listen, I want you to do this hike or whatever. I'm at. She's like, come do this hike with me. And I'm like, all right, cool. Then, you know, I bought some glitter sneakers. They was like, glitter sneakers? No, I'm going to give you some sneakers. She had my size in her trunk. She gives me her sneakers. They bend, like they fit the foot. I ended up doing the hike. It was like 3 hours up, 3 hours down. Almost died on that hike. Like there's no, like nothing. I'm crawling, trying to do this. You know, I'm a good
Get your baby gone now.
Right. Crawling across the face. I don't have nothing. Like you look down, you fall. It's like, this is legal? Like what? It was crazy. I started falling up the mountain and I got to the top, and because what she said was, when you get to the top, you're gonna hear God's voice. I said, well, God's voice. So now I'm rushing, like, I need to hear this. Yeah. Like, what's going on? So I'm climbing, sweating. I'm talking to myself. I'm doing videos. I'm trying to be cute. I'm playing Cardi B. I'm twerking. I'm having all types of emotions on this hike. And I get to the top. Yeah, now mind you, I'm going up there. There's people that's Chinese, that's like 90 years old with a baby on their back, and I'm like, and I'm over here struggling. Yeah. There's people with a dog on their shoulder.
Well, you ain't a gym workout person. I know that.
What? This is crazy. And I got to the top, and I made it. I'm like, oof. And they had like some victory music, some guy playing that up there. They had like a drone, and I'm like, up there. I'm like, I'm here, and all I heard was, when you get back to New York, life's gonna change. I said, who said that? I'm like, who said that? I said, did I say that? I'm like, I never heard his voice before. This is like unreal.
You know what? That's
Get back to New York, everything changed. I came back. I was on Wall Street blasting books. I'm like, somebody find me. I'm successful. I'm not partying no more. I'm here. Like, universe, help me. So I was driving around Wall Street, and I know people like, where is she blasting? I was blasting books. I was blasting Jen Sincero's How to Be a Badass at Making Money. And I was screaming to like the universe, like, please, please help me. And I did a video, and I'm going to post it up on my Facebook, but I was just dead serious. I was like, this is the time. There's no time to play games. We got to find our purpose. And I've been on a journey since.
You know what's funny? I didn't feel my resurgence of energy until I moved out here. I lived in New York my whole life. I lived in Queens my entire life.
Okay.
I've never traveled outside of the States. I remember coming up here to Pennsylvania I think for like maybe 3 or 4 days just to see my brother Ruthless. Shout out to Ru. And I remember sitting on his steps. Smoking a joint, drinking a cup of coffee. It was early in the morning. I was the only one up. It was like maybe 6 in the morning, maybe earlier. And I remember sitting on his steps. What up, y'all? I'm gonna tell you about another thing in a second. I remember sitting on his steps and just smoking the joint, drinking my coffee, and a family of deer was sitting on the ground, like sitting on his lawn, just chilling.
Wow.
And I'm just sitting there looking at them. And this was maybe 4 years after I lost my mom.
I'm so sorry. I remember that.
Like, my mom was passed in 2010. My grandma was passed in 2009. So this was like maybe 2 or 3 years after. It was like 2013.
God bless. So sorry for your look.
Thank you. You know what I mean? So I'm up here and I'm sitting there and I'm just sitting there and I'm smoking a joint. And I'm like, yo, hold on. So I go inside, I go grab my camera, because I always keep that. Go inside, I grab my camera, I come back outside, and I just start taking pictures of them. Like, they're sitting there and they're looking at me and they're like, hey, And it was just
beautiful.
It was just beautiful. And I decided in that instance, I have to be here.
Yeah.
And huh? Yeah, I realized I gotta get out of my comfort zone.
Right.
I have to expand my purview of things. So I moved, and again, it took me another 5 years to really make the decision, I'm moving to Pennsylvania. I'm out. Fuck me.
Right.
I'm out. And I can't lie. In that first year, for the first 3 months I was here, I had a blizzard. I didn't have a car. I didn't even have a license. So I'm walking everywhere using Uber. I'm just learning my way around. I'm getting lost. And best decision I ever made.
Oh, man. I'm so happy for you.
Best decision I ever made. Listen, 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom, $1,375 a month.
Hello. Well, hello.
With a 1/4 acre of land.
Okay. Well, I know where we throwing up parties at.
And still only a half hour or an hour and a half away from New York.
That's not bad.
You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying. Yo, this is livable right here. This is where you would, you know what I'm saying? This is livable here. Because, and it's funny, I know a lot of people who do Uber up here who also do Legal Shield and shit.
Wow, that's amazing. Because why not?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? And, I've just gotten to know a lot. Honestly, weirdly enough, and this is no lie, y'all motherfuckers can check this out. I can come up here and check if you won't. I am known as the mayor of Mount Pocono.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because I worked at Walmart. I've worked at Mount Airy Casino. I've worked at, I've worked all over the place, and I just get to know people.
Okay.
And I if you one of my episodes is with a young lady by the name of Tiffany Ely, and she was just a customer of mine at Walmart.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? But we became friends because she just was a good person. She's just a dope person. And recently she left it. You got to watch that episode. That's the clip I sent you. Yeah. She recently left
watching a little bit of it.
Yeah, she recently left the Jehovah's Witnesses, which I don't know if you know, but that's a really big thing.
Right.
Because they are a cult. You know what I'm saying? The motherfuckers are knocking on your door every day. The motherfuckers is a cult. And they're, you know what I mean? So it's interesting that she left. And it's very, very controversial. But again, I just meet people and just interact with people like I do. You know what I'm saying?
You're great at that.
You know, I ain't gonna lie. A part of me, there's a very small part of me that thinks about running for office up here.
Why not?
Very small part. Very small. Because I like my privacy. And I smoke weed. And you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I want for my constituents, damn it. Like,
I hear you.
You know what I mean? You also wrote a book.
Yeah, I did.
You wrote a book. Tell me about that.
It's such a blessing. I have it right here. It's called The Spiritual Fitness Survivor 2. And the universe allowed me to get into this book with 28 award-winning authors. And if I would have never was in Hawaii, I probably would have been here, because I ended up going to Canada to do this. And it was all by accident. I met somebody when I went to go buy a car that we ended up being great friends. He got me my baby. He got me my money back for my first dud car. And then he got me a new car. He worked for the auction, and met him. We ended up going to Canada with Charmaine and T. We all end up in the book. Long story short, this guy comes, Emilio. I bumped into him in New York at an event randomly in a parking lot, looking for like a place to leave, and it's like 1,000 people. I'm the type of I'm really, really early at events. 6 a.m, I'm there. The event don't start till 9. I'll be there at 6. So I met the guy that was in charge of this book, which is Emilio, and his wife Daniela. But Emilio was at the event in New York. When I went to when I met him in New York, I found out there was going to be 2 places at the same time. 3 places. It was going to be Costa Rica and Canada. And I'm like, whoa. So I bumped into him in Canada. And I was like, oh, this is meant to be. He puts me in the book. He asked me if I want to have an opportunity to do this. I paid to be in this book. I didn't know where I was going to get the money from. I'll work my behind off. I cleaned so many houses to do this. And I got in and I wrote it. And I said, well, it's called A Lamp of Faith. It's chapter 20. And the Lamp of Faith was like, literally, I had T and Charmaine behind my back pushing me. And Mike is the guy that I met for the auction, pushing me like, go ahead, you can do it. We stayed up in the hotel to do this. This book literally made everything manifest. I guess the universe said, well, if you want to read this book, let me help you with the next book. Let me help you with the next thing. Let me help you with the next thing. And this gave me like credentials. Like this was my college degree right here.
You're a published author, yo.
That's it, period.
Do you know how fucking proud I am of you?
I'm proud of you too.
Oh, listen, I ain't gonna lie, this podcast spawned from a book I wrote. I wrote out 12 chapters to a self-help book I wanted to write called Just to Be Frank.
Oh, wow.
And the very first episode of the podcast, it's on Spotify right now. It's on Anchor, iTunes, it's on there.
Right.
I didn't, because I started recording this in September. I just started putting this on YouTube in September.
Right.
So the first ones were all audio, but the very first episode is what I call the first 8 tenets of Just to Be Frank. And it's basically just the first 8 chapters of the book. Basically, like things like do away with fear. Fear is a hormone. It's mind over matter. You have control over it. Nothing worth doing is ever easy, and nothing easy is ever worth doing. You know what I'm saying? Like things like that. Because if there's no challenge involved in it, what the fuck is the point? If it's an easy thing, you're learning nothing. You're gaining nothing. But if there's struggle, if there's something involved that causes you to have to solve problems and get through it, yeah, that's a challenge. You know what? It's going to make you stronger. It's a good thing.
Right.
That shit. Run with it. You know what I mean? So that was like that's really what spawned this podcast too. And of course, when I came up here, I was doing another podcast called Foundation 101 Presents the Black Codes. That's on YouTube. Go and check that out. And I was doing that, but it was like a panel. And as fun as it was, and as good as it wasn't this. You know what I'm saying? See, this is more important to me. You know what I'm saying? Not so much more important, but more my lane where I can actually sit down and talk to somebody. And come summertime, you and T gonna have to come up and sit on the couch and actually come sit in the studio, man. Word up. You know you're welcome.
Yes, I'm gonna go get a tan in your backyard.
Listen, you know what? You can. Sunlight hits right there on the deck. It's really good. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to build my greenhouse. Yeah, because I'm trying to be as self-sufficient as humanly possible.
I get it.
I'm about to learn how to hunt. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm about to learn how to hunt, and because I want to be able to get my own meat and things like that, because going to the supermarket is just unhealthy. You know what I'm saying? I think of things like this, like factory farming is like this. These are mammals. Okay, they're cows or pigs or whatever. And regardless of what you think, they're still mammals. So they still have thoughts and feelings. They can still feel these. And so when they see their friends being taken into this one building and they never come out again, they know what's happening, regardless of whether you think the animals have sentience or not. They're mammals. They have sentience. They raise children. They birth children, so they rear children. Therefore, they raise children. Therefore, they have life. Cut it the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? So when they see that happening, they release a hormone called, I believe it's cortisol. And cortisol is what's known as the fear hormone. And what that does is it courses through their entire body when they're afraid, and the meat gets spoiled from it. You know what I'm saying? But if you go out in the woods and you take a bow and arrow or a rifle or whatever, and you shoot a deer or an elk or whatever, it's one shot, one kill. That animal doesn't have a chance to process it. It's natural. You have a spiritual connection to that animal when you kill it and then you cut it up and eat it. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to eat every part of it. You know what I'm saying? And it's...
You're not vegetarian, right?
No, I'm not vegetarian.
No, I said, you're vegetarian almost 2 years?
I tried. And I tried veganism. I tried pescatarian. But what I found was it didn't sustain me in a way that I felt good. Like, I didn't feel vital and like I got enough nutrients.
You didn't have me cook it. You gotta have me.
Listen, I'm not opposed to vegetarian or vegan food or anything like that. I have added it into my diet.
Yeah.
I will eat vegan food. I love those meatless sausage, Italian sausage. That shit good. I love that shit, man. As long as there's no soy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because soy contains a lot of estrogen, so it does, for guys, it'll give you the man boobs and shit. And I go to the gym 3 times a week, so I ain't got to have that. I've had that. I've been fat. I ain't trying to go back. But I definitely think that health is a very big, important thing. And drinking all, like, I ain't gonna lie, this is probably the first drink I've had. These are the first drinks I've had in like 2 weeks.
Okay.
And before that, because I lost my brother recently in like early January. My oldest brother, he passed away. And then my boy Vega, his grandmom's passed later. So there's been a lot going on. But that day, like when he was here and everything, like I drank a whole bottle of whiskey, man. And I just realized I need to chill. I can't be doing all that. So I took a little break. You know what I'm saying? And I feel better. You know what I'm saying? And again, I go to the gym at least 3 times a week. I got the heavy bag here. You know what I'm saying? I work out. Like because I don't want to be fat anymore. I'm trying to have some kids, girl. I'm trying to find a wife and have some kids. Trying. You feel me? What I also wanted to tell you was there is this dope ass app called Meet Me.
Okay.
It's a derivative of Plenty of Fish.
Okay.
I don't know if you know what that is.
Yeah.
All right. But it's the next level of social media. It's all live streaming.
I heard.
Like I'm on it right now.
Okay.
I'm streaming the Just to Be Frank podcast live on Meet Me right now. DJ Frosty and his ales. But I've met so many wonderful people through this app from overseas, from across the country. Like my homegirl Safi, she's in the UK, and she's one of those people that I hold in such high regard, like I hold you, and I just met her. You know what I'm saying? But again, what I realized is my spirit energy has always known a Lori. I've always met a Safi. You know what I'm saying? And that's the manifesting that I do. You know what I'm saying? I recognize that the people that are in my life that I hold dear to my heart, they've always been there in some form or fashion. Whether, you know, because I believe in the multiversal theory, I believe in past lives, I believe in hypnosis. Like, I think all that shit is real. You know what I'm saying? I don't think there's anything out of the realm of possibility, and I think that if you can think it, it can be.
Yep.
So I've always known a Lori. You know what I'm saying? You may not have been Lori. You might have been Asuka. You may have been your name could have been Saskatchewan, but in a past life, for all I know, you could have been a cat in a past life, for all I know.
Definitely was a cat, definitely.
I believe that, but but I know you. You know what I'm saying? And I recognize that my life is better for knowing you.
Aww.
You know what I'm saying? It definitely is. It's an interesting thing, man. Friendship and kinship and things like that. It's a very interesting thing, man. You have a way with. I'm sorry, I just paused for by accident. You have a way of drawing people into you. What do you attribute that to?
I'm still filling that out. I'm like, the first thing that I get is your energy. So since we're energy beings, I project some strong energy. And I met my higher self recently, like 2 weeks ago. And a lot of people don't meet their higher self. And I met that's the higher self is like your highest, most positive, the most wealthiest person spiritually, financially, everything. And I met that person. That person was gorgeous. I was like, it's everything that I ever wanted. It's basically in your manifested mind of who you are and who you see yourself to be at your highest, best point, healthy, wealthy, spiritually blessed. Like, and I did it with a meditation. I put it on YouTube. It was under my favorite girl. Her name is Life by Lucy. One day I'll meet her. I'm really excited about her YouTube because she had this guided meditation called Meet Your Higher Self. And I put it on. I did what she said to close your eyes. I put a little mask on my eyes, and she guided us to whoever watched it on YouTube to where your higher self is. And I see my higher self. She had long hair like me, all the way down here. She had a fedora black hat. I had one outfit was like white and half black. Like I must have subconsciously wanted that because I've been wanting an outfit like half and half, like brown and tan. Like I always want something different. Like I just feel like that stands out. And she had that on, and she talked to me. She talked so fast, and I'm like, this is me. So why am I surprised? So she's like, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna make a dream board. You're gonna put a reset button in the middle. Every time you mess up and you want to reset yourself, you press the reset button so you can achieve your dreams. She's like, you're gonna go on YouTube. You're gonna make sure that you project your information on there because that's gonna travel around the world. And then she was like, and then she put Miami, my dog that passed away recently. He passed away a couple of days ago. Oh my God, devastating. Miami. Oh, thank you. Miami was everything to me, and I do my best not to cry anymore because it's still like.
I remember you loved that dog.
You know, I love
you
that dog.
love that dog.
That dog don't know he was a dog. He didn't know he was a dog. He knew he was human. I ain't treat him like a regular dog.
No, you did not.
No,
I believe it. I believe it.
While I met my higher self, she put a picture of Miami was really sick. She put. I don't know how would this happen, but it's in the subconscious mind. I saw a picture of Miami. He was naked because he always got clothes on. You know, I always got him like in an outfit. He's naked, and a light comes from me. That it was like for me, not the higher self. It was me, and went into Miami, and he glowed. And I said, "Whoa, what was this?" I'm meditating. I'm like, "Where am I? What is this?" Long story short, he passes away like a week after. And I'm to this day, I'm trying to analyze that whole meditation because it hurt. And I'm like, well, did I give him life or did I take his life? I'm confused because
maybe a little bit of both, I'd say. Let me ask you a weird question. What kind of toothpaste do you use?
I use the Crush teeth and whitening teeth.
Okay.
Whitening.
Stop using that.
Why?
Because it has sodium
Fluoride?
fluoride.
Yeah. Closes your third eye.
It closes your third eye. Come on,
Right.
man. You already know. I ain't got to tell you if you know. What are you doing? I use the Hello brand.
Yes.
Or Tom's of Maine. Or Tamika
Tom.
Anthony. She has that wonderful company, Xanthine's Cafe.
Yeah,
Her
Tamika.
products are awesome. Yo, what up, New York Scorpio? Her products are awesome. And she's one of the smartest people I've ever met in my life.
Yeah, she's a chemist.
She's a forensic toxicologist.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah,
like there's a big difference. Like, but she is like, I can't lie. I respect knowledge. She is one of those people that I am happy to say she is way smarter than me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm intelligent, no question. She on another level. And what she does, the homeschooling, the products she puts out. The young lady that I said she's a licensed iridologist, Shakira, she has this line of teas and other herbal supplements and things like. Oh my God, they're fantastic.
Really?
Oh yeah, man. Like listen, you know me, I'm not big on pills and drugs and things like that. I smoke weed, damn it. That's all I want. I want weed. But I do drink her lung tea, her respiratory tea. It's fantastic. I went, if you check, I had another interview with these ladies from this place up here called the Crystal Garden. It's a crystal store. I'm wearing the hematite bracelet I bought from them. I love crystals. I love all that shit. Like, I'm into all that shit, man, because I genuinely believe that crystals have power. You know what I'm saying? And again, it's all about manifesting the positive of everything. What's next for you, man? What's next?
Well, I dropped the ebook on Monday, how I manifested this dream home. I'm providing it to all the viewers for free right now. Just pass the email and I'll send it over.
Sure. Make sure I get the link. I'll put it in the description. So
yeah. It's not on a link right now. It's just straight email because everything is like literally. I've been doing this for the past. I've been building a business heavy since 2012. Achieving wealth effortlessly. I didn't know where I was going with it, but for the last year, that's when I went out and started speaking on stages. Got into 2 books. Now I'm on my 3rd real book. Like this is gonna be like a real interesting book. And I just got into a book with Brian Tracy. Brian Tracy is huge.
Who's Brian Tracy? Why does that sound familiar?
He's like Jack Canfield. Chicken noodle soup for the soul. He's like those older personal development. This man is immaculate. He's part of The Secret. He is just big, and I got blessed to do that. I haven't even told anybody that yet. So, I have to go take pictures for the front of the cover. This is exclusive, and that's what it is. And then the next thing that I did a digital program. So I'm just looking to push that into the world. I wanted to have my YouTube, just like what my higher self said, push that because the podcast is literally in like 11 countries. I don't know. It's like everywhere. And I don't know how to pronounce it. But
it's funny. Like I'm trying to get my subscribers up on YouTube and all that, but what up, Mason? But I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, don't worry.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's not something I'm stressing. You know what I mean? Like I'm not, like I know they'll come. You know what I'm saying? People are going to want to hear this and then they'll go back and listen to all these old episodes like, oh shit, he was talking some crazy shit. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not, again, like those things don't matter to me.
Yes.
This matters to me. You know what I'm saying? Making sure my friends are good and healthy and happy and safe. How have y'all been during COVID? Like,
oh my God, it's the best time of my life.
Are you serious? You're probably the only person to say that.
Really?
Yeah.
well, Charmaine and I, like, we was out there in these streets, like, and while everything was going on, it was like, I was praying for everybody because I feel like God put us all on one pedestal at one time. I believe in God. So I'm gonna say God put us on one pedestal, like, here, sit down, have a seat, figure out your purpose at one time. Taking these people right now because they have another journey. That's how I looked at it, and I see it as a positive. And I lost a lot of people around me due to certain things, but I feel like everybody has their purpose and there's a time. And right now, God has a whole nother plan for some people. And I was sad for a little while, but I had to really look at the brighter side because God forbid I die today, tomorrow. I think I finished my purpose, so I'm just going hard as possible because, like, we only have one life we can remember. And it's very important to understand this. And I feel like the pandemic allowed me to really push because I'm in the self-help department. I'm helping people get through these things. I'm dropping podcasts. I'm giving programs. I was doing Zooms, doing trainings on keeping the mindset, starting businesses, taking advantage of your time. We're not working. Let me help you make some money. Let's recycle the income. Let's help people. And that's what I was doing. And it worked. And I was out there in the streets doing deliveries.
It worked for me. It worked for me because I remember we had a conversation early 2020. And when it was just I think it was a random call. Like I just called you up one day or you called me up. It was like, hey, Frank, what's up? Listen, I'm doing this podcast. You should do one too. I remember you said it was like, I'm like, why should I do a podcast too? Like you're doing it. Like, but then I thought about it over next week. And then I was like, yo, you know what? I do have something to say.
That's right.
I need, you know what I'm saying? I want to but this is what I always envisioned. And it came from watching, because during the pandemic, I was working at Walmart. So let's say 2019, late, November, December 2019, I was still working at Walmart, right?
Right.
And then I started working at the casino as well. So I was doing both. And then I left Walmart and just started working at the casino. Right. So I'm there and we got furloughed through after Kobe, rest in peace. And then after everything, I watched the Ahmaud Arbery thing and I watched all these things happen, all this different shit happening. And I'm like, damn, y'all want to talk about it, but I don't know how. And then I remember exactly what you posted your podcast on Facebook and I shared it. And I remember you hit me up. You said, thank you for sharing it. What do you do? Like, yo, I asked you, yo, how the fuck how did you start a podcast? And she was like, yeah, and you was like, yo, I did it through Anchor and you sent me to Anchor, which is owned through, and I didn't know that was owned by Spotify and all this shit. And I'm like, okay. So I started looking into it and I was like, yo, you know what? I have the idea for the Just to Be Frank podcast. I had already written out the book a few months prior. So I'm furloughed. Right. I'm in the crib. I'm not doing anything. I'm trying to think of ways that, I can monetize something so that I can fucking not have to just rely on unemployment and all this. And then I got that first stimulus check and I was like, well, time to buy a business. So I bought Frank Starfire Productions.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then I was like, so now Frank Starfire Productions is up and running. So now the Just to Be Frank podcast is the first production from Frank Starfire Productions. And I just started doing it. So June, I laid out the first episode. I did another episode. And then I did a third one. It was about the Ahmaud Arbery shit. And then I just kind of stopped for a good 4 months because I was trying to move out of where I was into where I am now. And it finally happened in September. So then I started all right, now I have a studio office. So now I'm throwing it on YouTube. Fuck it. And I got the couch for the guests. I got Zoom for the guests. Yes. I don't know if Skype records, but I would use that too. You know what I'm saying? But either way, this was all thanks to you and Joe Rogan, because without you, I would not have even thought it possible to do this. So like, but then like when I was conceptualizing it, I was like, well, this is really just I want to talk to people. I don't want to just sit here in an echo chamber and just speak and just, you know what I'm saying? I want to actually speak to people. And I'm like, well, a good 70% of my friends are doing just amazing shit. So just speak to them, promote their shit. Why not? You know what I'm saying? And you're one of the first people I thought of.
Thank you so much.
You know what I mean? And then I thought of Tanika because I know she got the publishing company and she got Born for TV and all that. You know what I'm saying? So I know she's doing things as well. So I was like, yo, this is designed for y'all because I want y'all to be able to come on here and just have a conversation with, you know, your boy Frankie, baby, but just talk and just relax and just be yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is like, I didn't want it to be a typical interview in the press. Like, no, I want you to be yourself. It's like, if you got your little champagne or your wine or whatever, cool. Like, you see me, I've been smoking a joint this whole episode.
That's my drink. I'll be like, let me get the orange juice and mango. Thank you.
I love it. Yo, listen, but you know what? That's good, man. I love orange juice with mango juice. I got this, you know, I fucked with blend. I love juicing shit. And I started, so like, here's a weird thing I started doing. So like, most people don't even think about. When I eat an apple, like say you eat an apple, how much of the apple do you eat?
Almost everything except the pit.
I eat the whole thing. Nothing's left.
Even the stem?
Seeds, stem, everything. I eat it all because all the nutrients are in the skin and in the seeds. You know what I'm saying? Now, apple seeds do produce cyanide, right? But you would have to eat a breakfast cereal bowl of nothing but apple seeds to get enough cyanide in you to poison you with cyanide poisoning. You know what I'm saying? So I'll eat the whole fucking apple. Seeds, no, because that's what all the nutrients are. I eat the whole kiwi, seeds, and the skin, all that shit. Because I think about it like, well, think about it like this: if an ape is in the jungle, right? Does it really fucking peel a fucking banana or a kiwi or a mango? No, it bites into that shit.
Right. Okay.
They're nothing but muscle.
I'm open to find something like that one day. You know,
they're nothing but muscle. All they eat is fruits and vegetables. You know what I'm saying? All they eat is really fruits and roots. So think about, they're fucking 500 pounds of muscle, and all they eat is fruit. Why are we as humans peeling shit and not eating the skin? Like, that doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? I had to come to nature to realize a higher wavelength of different thought. And getting off of fluoride was one of the best things I ever did.
Oh yeah, I gotta do that.
No, and then I know you know, again, you gotta look at like, if you talk to Tamika, she'll tell you, like, think about what's in your beauty products. You know what I'm saying? Right. The ingredients.
Right.
You know what I mean? Those things are bad, and you know, we don't think about the fact that they absorb into our bloodstream from us putting it on our skin or in our hair or on our scalp. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be more cognizant of that as well. Like, you have beautiful hair, you got your makeup all right and this shit. But imagine if you just let your hair be natural. What would it look like? You'd be beautiful.
Right.
You'd be beautiful.
This is a flat iron.
I know. Well, did you use a thermal protectant?
Yes, she did. She used a thermal protectant, but I'm sure it wasn't organic. So I would come immediately so that I could shift.
Yeah, I want to lock my hair. So I need to find a locksmith. Yeah, because I cut it off back last June. Like, all right, I'm tired of this. It was locked, but it wasn't. It was like free formed. Like, I was just letting it grow. I didn't give a shit. But now I want to really lock it and
do it nice.
Yeah, I want it to be neat and, you know, healthy.
She could help you out, and I think if you contact Jay, she probably knows somebody out there too.
I miss Jay, man. I keep telling Jay to come on up to Poconos. She fronting on me, man.
She
Come
be
on,
so
spend a week
busy.
with me, girl. You be all right. You know what I'm saying? We'll go hunt and go shoot some guns and shit.
Ah, right. I never shot a gun. I gotta go up there.
You never shot a gun? Oh,
Mhm.
listen, before I moved here, I never did either.
Really?
Yeah, and I did, and I always say this: I accidentally almost shot somebody on the range. It didn't
Oh,
happen, but it was an accident. But I almost did. So safety first in all things, people. But my shotgun. You know
wow.
what I'm saying? I keep my shotgun. I got my swords and all that shit. That was the very first thing I purchased because Dave Chappelle. Because Dave Chappelle, I was watching one of his specials. He was like, his first gun was a shotgun. And funnily enough, one of the early books I bought, like back in like 2002, was a book on shotgunning. You know what I'm saying? So I've always wanted a shotgun. But coming from New York, because we can't have them. And
Right.
because, we know a lot of people who die from gun violence, shit like that, it kind of jades you to the idea of guns. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
I was very anti-gun until I moved up here and got a real better understanding of it. You know what I'm saying? Up here, you'll probably get your first gun when you're 3 years old. It'll be a BB gun or something like that, right? And as you get smarter and better and become more responsible, you learn like, okay, this can actually hurt somebody, or you know what I'm saying? So you learn as you grow, and then your guns progressively get bigger and bigger. So you'll start with a BB gun, then you'll get a 22 rifle, and then
Whoa.
you'll maybe get like you progressively as you learn, because the first thing, trust me, you shoot a BB in your head, it hurts. So imagine a bullet hitting you in the head. So your
I never
key,
got with a BB.
yeah, me too. It doesn't
I
feel
never
good.
did. I've never, I never had that.
No, you never been paintballing either? Oh man. Oh Lord, when you come up here,
Like
y'all
really?
gonna have some fun. Yo, you
Yeah.
know what? I gotta get you, Jay, and Tanika up here all at the same time. I got enough space for y'all. You know what I'm
Let's go.
saying? We'll make air mattresses and shit.
Yeah.
I'll make space for y'all. One of y'all can
Yeah.
fit. Listen, two of y'all can fit on the couch. This shit is comfortable as fuck. You know what I'm saying? I can fit Jay in another place. Like, yeah, I can fit y'all. But either
Like,
way, when we come to summertime, I'm gonna throw a nice little barbecue party type shit. Y'all gotta come
I'm there.
and stay for a couple days. We'll go to the gun range and all that type of shit, and just
Be
what I'm
crazy.
saying. Because truthfully, like I don't know how you don't know martial arts. Like I
Martial arts.
you should know martial arts.
And shoot guns.
Yes. All these things are necessary because you are an intelligent young lady who should know how to defend herself.
Yeah, I thought my guns was good, but I guess
I mean, listen, you gotta have your guns, but you need them guns, and it helps that we're not felons, so we can just buy them. Like,
right.
you don't know the satisfaction I got walking into the gun store. It's a Dunkelberger. Shout out to Dunkelbergers in Stroudsburg. You don't know the joy I got from walking into the fucking gun store and just giving them my card and filling out a little form and saying, yeah, no, here you go. Here, do my background check, all that, and then walking out with a shotgun over my shoulder. Like, it just felt phenomenal. Like, yeah.
Wow.
Like, and that's the thing, and that's the difference between New York and Pennsylvania, is that here guns are a part of the culture, whereas in New York you're taught that you can't have them. But I remember gun stores in New York and Queens. I remember there being gun. I remember Times Square the way it used to be.
Oh
I
wow.
remember Times Square with the pimps and the hoes and the drugs and all that shit. I
Yeah,
remember that. Yeah, my dad, because my pops used to take me to Times Square. Like I would go to Tad's Steakhouse used to be one of my favorite places to go in all of New York. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? It's a little rinky dink ass little steak. It's not even it's not even a great steakhouse, but just I love
Right.
the fact that I can go there and just get a steak and just chill. Matter of fact, the night you had a birthday party once at there was like a hotel with a pool.
The Grace.
The Grace, right there in New York, right there in Midtown. So after that party, I went up to Tad's. I got me a meal, ate me a steak and all that shit, right? And then I don't think I ever told you this. And then I was walking up towards I guess I was in like on like 10th Ave.
Right.
And I'm walking down and shit. I'm just walking around the city at this point. Like I came out of the steakhouse. I'm a little drunk. I'm from the party. I just ate a good meal. So I'm decided to walk it off. I didn't want to get on the train right away and go home. I decided to walk around. And I meet up with these people. They're just walking too. And we just start kicking it like cool. And then one of the dudes, his girl or his sister or whatever, gets into an altercation with some homeless dude, and the dude slaps the shit out of her. So we run up on him and start fucking him up. And then the police showed up. So the next year after that, I was going to like the fucking DA, Michelle Menarchik. Shout out to Michelle Menarchik, one of the assistant DAs in New York. I don't know if she's still in there. She's asking me to testify against this dude. Now, I ain't gonna lie. I did it. I ain't gonna fuck. This motherfucker really, and I ain't gonna lie. The only reason I did it was because she and I worked out an agreement where she would provide me some like insider information for my book. She would be like a content provider for my book almost. So not content, but like she would give me some idea, like some of the ways like the DA's office works and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely a little quick pro quo going on. But I did see him slap the girl. So I had no problem testifying against the dude. I didn't give a fuck. Because he really slapped the shit out of her. And I felt bad. Like, yo, she really like she got hit. And we beat the shit out of this dude. Like, it was just a weird night. But either
wow. Sorry that happened.
Yeah, man, but I went through that for like a good 6 months after that shit. Like, I'm really going to the fucking courthouse down there on fucking Chamber Street and all that. And it's madness, man. But you know what? I don't have the same ideology about certain things when it comes to crime and things like that. Like, I know criminals.
Right.
I know hustlers, I know pimps, I know prostitutes, I know everybody in every spectrum now. You know what I'm saying? I can say that unequivocally with no problem, and I'm okay with that. I know gay people, straight people, I know bisexuals, I know trans, I know all these types of people.
Right.
Is it weird for you at times to have all these different types of different people around you?
I love people.
You know what I mean? Do you?
I do. It's weird. People I feel like when people are like, oh, I don't like people, I'll be like, oh, well, I do. I like to be squished up around them. I don't care. Like even in the train, hold me up when I don't only gotta hold the train like bar. Like that's how I don't mind. Like I love
you are strange.
Like I don't mind. I remember I used to fall asleep and I accidentally fall asleep on people, and they'll let me stay there, and I was very comfy. Like okay, well,
I've done that. One time I was on the train and this young lady, she straight fell asleep on my shoulder, and I'm like, at first I'm like, all right, this is weird, but I'm like, okay, fuck it. I'm read my book. Chill, relax, you know what I'm saying? I asked her, I was like, yo, do you know when's your stop? She's like, it's, she told me when the stop was. I was like, all right, I'll let you know. Just relax, you good. And she go because at first, like when she realized she was asleep on my shoulder, she was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm like, nah, you good. Don't worry about it. Obviously, you need to rest. Relax, you good. When's your stop?
I see.
And she's like, it's the, I'm like, all right, I'll let you know. Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? And she went right back to sleep on my shoulder. And,
yeah.
And
I'm that. Yes.
Yeah, man, but we should all be like that. And, coming from New York doesn't really teach you that. New York is kind of like every man for himself. Like, get the fuck out my way. You in my way. I'm Russian. Like, but it also has that element of, oh, yeah, you need to sleep on my shoulder. Go ahead, man. You good.
Yeah, there's great people out there, and I attract that. I like to be around great people. I feel like Energy, I know energy. So if you're not a good person, 9 times out of 10, I won't be around you. And
when did you first realize that you had that innate gift to draw people in?
I started in Duane Reade. I used to work at Duane Reade a little bit, like right around the corner from my apartment, my mom's apartment, when I was a little girl in Harlem. And when I started working at Duane Reade, I had everybody just wanted to come to me. Like I was a cashier, I was helping with the pharmacist, I was doing the stock boy stuff, I was opening the store, the gate, and I was getting paid as a cashier. And because I had that ability to do all of those tasks and be around people, and they loved me.
Yeah.
And it's like, you have great customer service. And because of that, that's how I ended up at Ages, because my customer service was immaculate.
Oh, yeah.
So the phone was like, got it.
That's kind of what made me good at Ages, too, because for all my quirks, I was really good on that phone.
Right. You had to be.
I remember Lance, man. Lance played one of my calls in one of his training classes, and it was one of the funniest calls I've ever done.
Yeah.
And he was like, yo. And when he played it for the class, he brought me in to listen to it while he played it for the class. And he asked the class, he was like, yo, was there anything wrong with that call? And everybody's trying to point out all types of shit that was wrong with it. And he's like, yo, there was nothing wrong with that call. It was a perfect call. He gave them all the information and everything. He was just, but he has his, but he engaged with the customer. And that's what I do. I engage with people. I want to know what makes you tick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Listen, is Tanika there by any chance?
She's not. I want to we had a pact. We went to Costa Rica and they said, listen, do more things separately. Because T needs her own identity.
Yeah.
And when we together is, once again, Lori, is the one that's speaking, and she's like,
yeah, she does that. Yeah. She's not a very outgoing person in that way.
She's an introvert.
Right.
I'm an
extrovert. Right. Oh, so very much.
With her. Get to know her. And that's why I did that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Because she's really because she has vision, but I think that I think Tanika's better as a background player because she can direct you to where you want to go, but she doesn't. But if she engages with just a core group of people, she's good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I think she has that social anxiety like a lot of people do. We don't have that.
No, extroverts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if I'm an extrovert or an introvert, honestly. If
you have something in your hand, you are.
Yeah.
Like, I know something in your hand, you start talking, you got a cup or a cigarette or whatever it is, you start to talk. That's extrovert.
Yeah.
Just sitting in your hand.
That's all I need is something to set it off. But it's funny because there are times when I'm very introverted. Like, I'm a homebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to go to clubs. You know that. I hate clubs. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The only time I go out to parties is when you throw one. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't go to parties. I don't like them. You know what I'm saying? But the funny shit is, I was looking at some of the video from one of the parties in Atlantic City. I was recently watching because, I still have them. I have all the video.
So much.
Yeah. It's on Dropbox. I don't, I'll throw nothing away. But but I've got those. I think I have all the shots and all the video from every party you've ever done that I was a part of. And the last one I think the last one where we were in Brooklyn.
Yes.
That was one of my favorites.
It was intimate.
It was very intimate and it was good and it was just it was really, really, really comforting. Like, honestly, that's probably the photo I'm going to use as the intro photo in the credits. It's the one with me. I was toasting you, but I had the drink in my hand. I got the camera in this hand. I'm just talking. I love that picture because it's just me, and weirdly enough, I look like my grandpops. But, it's just one of those things, man. I just enjoy your spirit. I enjoy it when you're around. Angie, oh my fucking God, she's so great, man.
Yeah, she's my blessing.
I love her to death. Is she your blood sister or is she just
My blood sister.
she's your blood sister? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I can't lie, I have the hugest crush on her.
They love her body. They think she's amazing. So,
you know what? Her body is awesome, no
yeah,
question. But I love her mind.
yeah.
She, like, I remember I was in a live with her. And I think she was at work, but she has this very unique brain that I thoroughly enjoy engaging with. You know what I'm saying? And Indy's the same way.
Yeah.
She's into the most interesting things. And I find, and again, these are people I only met because I know you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So your universe and my universe have engaged and created a multiverse that has allowed me to know some very, very interestingly dope people.
That's fantastic. I'm
And
happy.
Listen, I'm thankful for that, man.
I'm thinking you taking all the memories and making sure that I had this. I got all the CDs, DVDs, everything. Like, I'm excited. Like, I could go back through some slides and this was me. Passed out. This is me. Like,
no, I never took those pictures. You know, I don't take pictures of you. I never took pictures of you if you passed out or anything like that.
Oh,
no, I never did that. You know what I'm saying? Or even if I did, I'll never release those. Those are, you know what I'm saying? Those are in the archives. Like, I still have the pictures of the time when I passed out after a fucking drink funnel, and they were taking pictures of me passed out. I have those.
Oh yeah,
yes, I do, and I keep them because that is my reminder to don't drink on the job. And if you remember, after that, I wouldn't drink on the job. I wouldn't drink. I would until like after like I was done with everything. Like until I was finished, I wouldn't drink. You know what I'm saying? Like I would smoke a gang of weed, but I would never drink because I remember that one time you wanted to do the Beyonce joint and you wanted to do the thing, and I was too, that fucking funnel fucked me up. So I remember, man. I remember, man. And but you know what? I've had some of the most fun times of my life with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've had some of my most enjoyable times with you. I remember the year after I lost my mom's, I came to one of your joints, and you know, you and fucking T and Janarius, yo, look, man, this is Just Be Frank podcast, and I'm in my cups, and I'm smoking some weed, and the truth of the matter is, I'm in love with that girl.
Aww.
Janarius Nunez, I love her. I genuinely do. She's one of my favorite people in all the world, and I know I don't tell her that often because, you know, everybody and their mama love her, but I don't. Yeah, I know. Oh, believe me, I know. And you're gonna tell her this because I know you will, but. You know what I'm saying? But the truth is, I am genuinely, I have such a deep affection for her. I remember one time she and before she wasn't friends with Jalissa anymore, her and Jalissa came to my crib. Huh?
I don't know who Jalissa is.
Yeah, Jalissa Griffith. She used to work at Aegis as well.
Okay.
And they used to hang out pretty hard body. And something happened with the two of them. I don't exactly know what. I've never asked because I'm friends with both of them and I respect them enough that I don't want to be the middle guy between that. Like I got love for both of them. You know what I'm saying? So I won't just, say, but I know they had an enmity betwixt the two of them, and I'm hoping at some point they'll eventually work it out or get, I do. I hope that. But they came to my boy V's crib and they like spent the whole weekend with us. They was getting tattoos. That's why Janarius, if you notice the flower tattoo on her foot.
Yeah.
My brother Vega did that. He also did the Tinkerbell on her leg.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, my brother Vega did that. And he did the one on her foot, but she couldn't take the pain, so that's why it never got finished.
Oh shit.
Because it was painful. Like, but she was there for like, we chilled, we was good.
Mm-hmm.
And she's an awesome human being. I love her to death. She's a great mom.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
Fantastic.
I'm saying? She's a great mom, and she's one of those people that if I had a chance in hell, yeah, I'd date her in a hummingbird's heartbeat. But I'd marry that girl. I swear to God, I would. But
Hummingbird's heartbeat. That is
him in
high.
a hummingbird's heartbeat. You know what I'm saying? Because that's one of the fastest heartbeats on planet Earth. That's why I say that. Yeah, the hummingbird heart beats at like 100,000 times a minute because they're so small. Like a hummingbird is about yay big, but
Yeah.
they move so fast and fluid, but their heart beats at like so fast. So they have the highest heartbeat, I believe, in all of nature.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So that's why I say, like, in a hummingbird's heartbeat, yeah. I date that girl. But, as it stands, that's my sister. I love her to death. You know what I'm saying? She family.
Yeah.
And either way, she's family. And, you know, and that's why when you was like, yo, what kind of questions you gonna ask? I'm like, yo, there ain't no questions, man. We just talk.
This is
Like,
great. I'm happy that I was. Oh, thank you.
well, listen, I'm just thankful that you're a part of it. And listen, you're always welcome anytime. Like, if you have something you want to promote, hit me up. Like, you got a guest spot? Of course, I got a guest spot for you. What you need? Like, what you want to promote? You know what I'm saying? Send me the link so I can put it in the description. Like, all that, man. Because
Promote my YouTube.
yeah, man. Like, because it's important for me that
Thank you.
my friends, my family does everything they're supposed to in this life. And whether it be the podcast or Charmaine doing her podcast and helping people heal from bad relationships, or Indy doing coding or learning some other shit, or Janarius just, doing what she do and being a mom. Like, all these things are important to me.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm thankful that I'm able to have such friends in my life, because a lot of people use that word and it's so hollow. It doesn't mean anything. You know what I'm saying? You're one of those people that it doesn't matter what I have going on. If I need you, I know I can call you.
Yes.
And you'll talk, and you'll help me either fix the problem or fundraise it.
What else?
You were like, you're about to be evicted. All right, well, let's get this in. And shit, somehow, some way, I'll get 15 grand.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck?
And all the time.
You know what I'm saying? But you're one of the only people I know that can do that. There may be 4 or 5 people that I know that have that ability. I'm not one of them, but you are.
I'm so happy that I helped like that, because I really want to be a solution-based person. I appreciate you.
Listen, man, from the day I met you till now, I've never met anybody more genuine. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know real genuine people. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm not taking anything from anybody else that I know. But you have been the same person literally from the day I met you. You know what I'm saying? You've evolved, you've changed, but not in a way that took away any of your spirit or the ability that you have. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I've seen you. I remember you was doing nutcrackers. You know what I'm saying? And selling fucking, trips to fucking Atlantic City, like just whatever you could to fashion $1 out of it, man. And that type of get up and go is what everybody in this world needs, man.
Right.
So,
Thank you.
When you write a book, it's important for me to tell people about it. When you host a podcast, it's important for me to tell people about it. When you do something, because everything that you do, no matter what it is, you do great at it.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'm trying, girl. Listen, man, I'm trying to be like you when I grow up.
Listen,
I'm trying to be like you when I grow up. That's all.
You're gonna manage everything, Frank. You're fine.
Listen,
I think for your time.
Listen, like I said, you're always welcome. Anytime you like, listen, I'm always looking for guests. So anytime you ain't got nothing to do, you just feel like sitting down talking.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, hit me up like, hey, you feel like shoot a podcast? Sure, why not? Like, fuck it, man, because you know what I mean. We could talk about whatever, man. But this was just my first. This is your first time being on. This is just my opportunity to praise you and give you all the love and flowers that you require.
I appreciate it.
Always, man. So, tell everybody your social media. You know what I'm saying? Shout it out.
Yes, my Instagram is the real REAL Miss MS Manifest. That's my Instagram. My Facebook, it's under Miss Manifest. It's a like page. It's my business page. And my YouTube is Miss Manifest as well, MS Manifest.
There you go. Listen, Lori, my love. Thank you ever so much, man. This 2 hours done went by without even a fucking hit. You realize that? Like, and it's, you know what I mean? Like, we just floated 2 hours like nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I love it, man. Listen, Achieving Wealth Effortlessly is the podcast. This young lady right here is one of the most powerful beings I've ever met in my life. You do well to know her. Lori, I want to thank you so much for joining me on the Just to Be Frank podcast. Thank you ever so much. If you'd like to learn more, hit the links down there, the fucking description and all that shit. You know what it is, man. It is what it is. You know how we do. I am your boy, Frank Starfire. That is Lori Crosby. I want to thank you ever so much for joining me. Thank you so much. It's the Just Be Frank podcast. I'll see you next time. One love. Abracadabra.
Later.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Frank Starfire. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you heard, do me a favor. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and then share the living shit out of this. Or keep it to yourself so you can be that much smarter than everybody else. Also, do me a favor, hit the links in the description so that you can get some more great content from me and some of my friends. And feel free to drop a line in the comments, even if it's just to tell me that I'm a fucking moron. Thanks for watching. One love. Abracadabra.